What is this? Nexon crossed the line. What is this? What did Nexon? Nexon has already crossed the line with what is Dark and Darker.
Is this a real article?
No,
this
no,
is legit? Oh my god, bro. Nexon, one of the worst companies, gets worse. Bro, how is that even possible?
How does that happen?
Good God. Okay. All right, here we go. Korean FTC fined Nexon about $9 million for game item probability manipulation. Source. Please don't be in Chinese. Okay.
Well, U-turn.
Okay. Partially related to the post about 7
React
months
today,
ago.
guys.
Nexon sued by Maple Story player
wow.
and partially. Too long didn't read. Nexon secretly manipulated the probabilities of paid items and earned about $420 million over 14 years from these items. Wow. Okay, so is this Logan Paul all over again? Logan Paul scams his viewers for $14 million.
Can you believe it being like a big company like Nexon that has been going around for ages and they're like, you know what, let's do the final blast. The Dark and Darker shit? Nah. We can do worse. Let's scam every user that is playing our games right now. Let's do that. That sounds like a great idea. And honestly, you deserve it if you're playing Nexon Games. Nah, just joking. But overall, that's scummy as a whole.
$2 million back. So you're telling me they scammed people for over $420 million and they're only getting fined for $9 million? Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, yeah. Okay, that checks out. That's ridiculous. Players have empirically suspected such probability manipulation, but Nexon publicly denied it. And behind the scenes, they created specific guidelines on how to trick users well. Do you realize how horrible this is for your audience to find out that you've been scamming them on rates? We already know. People always joke about, oh, dev mode activated, or what the f are these rates? There's no way they're these bad. These companies scamming us is a joke. But it's legit. It's actually legit. Like, that's crazy to me. That is crazy. Like, the fear that you're going to put in your consumer base, which I'll be real, I don't know who the plays a Nexon game anyways. I mean, what's a popular, well-liked Nexon game? What was the last one? Like Blade and Soul or some shit? The company's
The last one is probably Blade and Soul, yeah, but I don't know. The thing is that people still love MapleStory a lot. Like, I think people are getting back into MapleStory quite a bit. A company that already has a lot of monetization ways that are very consumer unfriendly. The fact that they're already also trying to get like suck in even more money from the consumer is kind of odd. Like, it's just really weird.
Dog shit. It's always
I just wish Nexon burned down. Like, off the dark, I'm gonna be honest. I hate Nexon. I've never played any of their games beside Blade and Soul. But I'll be honest, because the Dark and Darker stuff, I will never ever have a supportive bond for Nexon. I just hope that company burns.
He's been dog shit. It's been like what, Nexon and like Polarium. I believe Polarium's behind
Dungeon Fighter. Is that a Nexon game?
Shadow Legends.
That game is not popular in the West at all, but is really popular in East Asia.
Archive. Well, we all know who plays that anyways. Yeah, no, this is terrible, and it gets worse apparently. The Korean Fair Trade Commission fined Nexon about $8.87 million, and Nexon insists it is a victim, saying that the fine is unfair and that it will adversely affect the game industry. Yeah, I mean, not only does this affect
you should fine them for as much money as their company's worth.
So this affects every gacha gaming corporation.
I think that's a good idea.
Rated loot boxes, which I believe a loot box system was sued for the other day. I mean, we might be seeing the end of loot box gaming and gacha gaming as a whole. I doubt it, but there is a possibility because a lot of them are coming underneath fire. This is actually really not good. Like,
there's a lot of countries that are kind of like starting to regulate things around loot boxes and the rare chances of gambling within video games. And it starts sparking up a conversation more and more places. And some places are putting it into a factor and starting to move on to crush down the fact that these kind of monetization methods. So it is not, I doubt gacha and gambling and loot boxes will go away. But I do believe that it will sort of be more banned more places or change in some other ways. It depends where you live in the world, though, of course.
This is one way to put fear and panic in your consumers. Not only your consumers, but games of similar genre consumers. Nexon Korea would secretly lower the probability of Cube, which resets and upgrades equipment options on the online game MapleStory, which I don't know who's playing anymore anyways. I'll be real. I was dating a chick and her ex-boyfriend's dad played MapleStory, And when I heard that he spent $9,500 on a in-game item, I was like, why in the would anybody play this?
I love that that comes from the dude that spent how much did Tectone spend on Staff of Homa again? Was it how much was it? $100,000? I don't remember. 40,000? I don't remember. He spent like a ridiculous amount on Staff of Homa. I think it was 40,000 for one item in Genshin Impact. Like, he's the reason why we have weapon banners, because he wasted so much money on getting one weapon. Well, to be fair, it was getting like 7 copies of it.
Then here we are spending $500,000 on Genshin Impact, but
yeah,
it's neither here nor there. They will be sanctioned by the Korean Fair Trade Commission, including the largest penalty ever. Yes, the largest penalty, 2.5% of their profits from this one scam. What will they learn? Let me tell you, absolutely nothing. How the you go after Nexon, $1 billion company, and get probably less than 0.3% of their total net worth? Bro, you are up. I don't know who your lawyer is, but to quote a very famous TV show, you better call Saul, because you are getting out the ass right now.
It's like that clip where you see one guy that has $1 billion, right? He has like $100 million, and if he takes away 100,000 or 200,000 or 500,000, and he has basically separated those 100 millions into 100,000s. So he's put it in like Google Doc and had to separate it and just deletes 5 of them. You cannot notice it at all. You don't see it. This does not even scratch Nexon. If that like 9 million is not really 8.87 million is not really doing anything towards them, and they will keep on doing what they're doing, because that's just the damage that they can actually just still keep on earning more from. They can just keep doing it.
Be a corrective order and a fine of 11.642
fraud.
billion.
Yeah, right.
Won. About 8.87 million.
Like, why would they learn from such a fee, from such a fine, whenever they are earning a lot more while they're scamming? Like, why would they do that? No, there's no reason. Like, the fine is not big enough to compensate that they stop. It's not big enough at all.
Nothing. It's
they should just fine them for $8.87 billion. And now we're talking, how much is Nexon worth? Let me see. Nexon worth. What is Nexon? 2.35 trillion. It's worth 2.35 trillion? Or that's Japanese. How much is in USD though? That is a lot. Like, hello, trillion? Okay, I can't find it, but you get it.
That's like okay, I understand. Nexon paying 8.87 million, and I'm going to say something. It's going to make you uncomfortable. Okay, Nexon losing 8.87 million is like you losing the 25 cents you were going to use to buy a gumball. This is outrageous for such an egregious scam as well. Unless this opens the floodgates for other people to sue them with the same correspondence of, or the same penalty of currency that this one suer received. I don't know, man. Like, this is ridiculous to me. That is ridiculous. Next, I introduced Cube, which is a paid-for item to MapleStory in May 2010. It's been going on for 14 years. The Cube was sold for about $15.94 billion. Or that's what they're worth. $1.08 black cube per unit. Players use this cube for 2 major properties: to obtain a deal, additional ability, and to promote an item to legendary grade.
If the penalty is fine, then it's illegal for the rich. Right. It's just the damage it costs. They can still go through that. It doesn't really matter.
Both probabilities. First, they blocked users to obtain the best ideal additional ability. What? Oh my God. I would be furious. So the most preferred option is never achievable. Second, they slowly lowered the probability of promotion. No, that's crazy. That is insane. So essentially what Nexon was doing was, it's like the old Staff of Homa incident where I lost.
It's basically pay to win, but you cannot win. You can still pay though. You can still think that you're winning, but you're not winning. You're never hitting that goal that you want to. It's like an end goal that is unachievable, but you can keep throwing as much money as you want. Playing the slot to get 777, you will always miss 17. That is what this is. That is nuts.
13 times. It would essentially be like the 50-50 doesn't exist. You can never win it, but they'll lie to you and say that you could. Nexon was found not to have informed users of the change either. Rather, it issued a false notice.
Is the business cost at this one point?
Yeah. There was no changes in the function of the cube, and it was the same as before. Nexon also hid this fact without notifying users. The FTC explained that Nexon made 550 billion won, 420 million worth of sales through Cube from September 2010, when the Cube probability was first changed to March 2021. 11 years of scamming. $500 million when the probability was revealed to the outside world. This is insanity.
Wow. They're nearly worth 16 billion, right? They've scammed for 11 years and they got an 8 million fine. Can you believe that when they got caught for scamming for that long? That is nuts. I feel like whoever gave them fine is being paid under the table. Like what is that?
$500 million of scamming. Jesus Christ.
$500 million of scamming.
Somebody puts drops in their title on Twitch.
I feel like if you scam and you earn like $500 million from scamming, you should be fined like 3 times the price that you scammed. They should be fined 1.5 billion. Like, honestly, actually fine them for 50 billion so they actually delete from existence.
Don't have it, or says a giveaway and then never does it. I mean, that'd just be horrible. Players have speculated about these things with experience-based statistics, but it's shocking that they've been proven to be true. From 2010 to the present time, it is also revealed that Nexon omitted the probability manipulation from the notice and deliberately concealed these matters from users. So they knew what they were doing, and they intentionally hid that shit. But a little slap on the wrist, a little 9 mil, yeah, that'll teach them. Yeah, now they'll never do it again.
Definitely.
What the bro? That's insane. From Korean's FTC's investigation, Nexon's internal meeting was released. Users found that the agenda is whether or not to leave an official statement that there has been no change in cube probability under the premise that the probability and logic has been changed regarding the cube. While disclosing the probability due to the refund crisis in March 2021, rightfully so, it was intentionally hidden so that it would not reveal the cube probability was manipulated. Piece of shit. And it was revealed that he deceived users through very thoroughly, even issuing a hold order to delay their responses because if they answered quickly, it would only increase their inquiries. In other words, it was 14 years of fraud. And when people asked about it, they intentionally delayed.
They just gave them, they Donowall the response for 14 years? Wow. Isn't business funny, guys? Isn't it nuts that you can manage business like this? Somebody, you're doing something so fucked up. And people are asking about it and reporting it, and you just like completely ignore it for that many years. Wow.
Their responses to not elicit a reaction. This is one of the most manipulative things I've ever seen. Nexon's director said in a meeting with players in 2016, well, we are well aware that we cannot deceive customers, especially in terms of probability. And in this regard, we actually think there was no purpose to deceive our customers. Yeah, bro, besides the tune of $500 million. There was no situation to deceive them. Bullshit. And there was no reason to deceive them. Bullshit. The fact that even at that time, probabilities were being manipulated. And now they're trying to manipulate the press as well. Yeah, right, bro. Anybody with IQ above room temperature would see through this bullshit. That is insane. After FTC's announcement, Nexon argues that it is customary for game companies to not disclose the probability between 2010 and 2016, and that it's impossible to predict the damage to Korean game companies due to the FTC's retroactive disposition. Oh my God, lying through their
Jesus.
Additionally, Nexon has made numerous excuses to deny data that have already been investigated by well-known government agencies, and rather, it is appealing that it is a victim. So let me get this right. They screw people out of $500 million, and they think they're the victim of what? Having too much money to where your wallet weighs too much when you walk?
I'm gonna be honest. I wish that every country in the West would just ban their games, like all of them. Just be like, you know what? Their game isn't allowed anymore. They've done it this once. They've done this twice. Just get like, this company is not allowed to publish or be related to any game anymore in our countries. That's what I really wish would be the case. I've never heard that ever be a factor or something happening like that, but I do really wish that would be a rule set that would be given. Just because some of these companies, just their intent is always to not provide a product that is enjoyable, but is to provide a product that takes manipulates and uses the weak. And just generally, it is not a product that is meant to be used for enjoyment. It's always a product that is meant to like ruin people's enjoyment. It is so weird that they're even allowed. And I bet that most politicians and people that are managing things, allowing things to go through, don't really know all about all of this. And I think that once if they were told or informed about how many of these companies run like their games and release publishing it into their countries, they would probably not be fine with it at all.
It's insane. Nexon dismisses the issue as just a good faith action to facilitate game management, and by defining probability manipulation or numerical adjustment as inevitable acts, it is turning the victim to Nexon and the victim to the government. Meanwhile, while researching MapleStory this time, FTC also investigated Nexon's other games, and in the process, it was known there was a similar probability manipulation
of course
in the other game, Bubble Fighter. And as a result, there's a huge
I don't know what
effect on
Bubble
users
Fighter
playing
is. I've
other
never seen that game before.
Concerns are spread that have been having probability manipulation in their other games.
Nexon bitching so hard.
I have said this thousands of times. Do not play Nexon games.
100%.
That is unforgivable. That is so disrespectful.
Yep.
Manipulative, vulturistic, and preying on a already, let's be real, weak-minded community. That is bullshit. That is absolutely disgusting. And they should be ashamed, but they won't, because they have millions upon billions of dollars.
They're living good.
Shut the fuck up. Yep, got fined for 20, or got 420 and fined for 9. Yeah, that'll teach them. I feel like all civil fines should start with 100% of the revenues gained through the scheme and then tack on punitive damage. 1,000,000%. Man, people are not kidding when they say fines are just operation costs. I know. This shit is nuts. They still play the victim and claim irreparable damages while losing 5% of the gain profits. Absolutely bullshit.
The fact that this is a thing is kind of nuts. Like, how could anybody allow this? Like, the numbers are straight there. How did any court or ruling say that this is the fine you're going to receive?
Do yourself a favor. Take my advice for once. Just don't play Nexon games. They're despicable.
Yep.
They're disgusting. And I can't think of another word that starts with D to make this a clickbaity title. Maybe I need to look at a Jin Jinx and Tutor video. Regardless, thanks for watching. That bullshit. See you on the
Good
next
video.
one. What do y'all think? Peace.
Dumb as fuck. Stupid as hell. Nexon should burn. That is it.